How's it going, YouTube? It is that time. The RLCS World Championship starts tomorrow, and we've got our predictions. We're going to go through these. We've already gone through the ropes and kind of found out the results with chat. Somehow we managed to dial up the perfect script like we always do. Again, as a reminder, as you take a look at these, we're just having fun. We know these aren't going to happen. It is almost impossible to predict without actually seeing the results. If you want to see a more accurate representation, stop by the stream on the day of the matches. Last event, I think for Major 2, we went like 80 some odd % prediction rate. We crushed it. So again, very difficult. We know these aren't serious, but be biased, have fun with your teams. Let me know who you guys got winning down below in the comments. With that said, first round, pretty straightforward. All the high seeds winning as expected. Couple upsets I could see happening. Maybe we see BDS do something goofy early on. Maybe Oxygen comes out swinging. I could see the same thing with Gen G potentially causing some hiccups. The K-Corp Space Station match is the only one that I'm really like, I don't know what we're going to get. I don't know what K-Corp we're going to get. I don't know what Space Station we're going to get. To me, LJ has to have a worldy performance for them to even have a remote chance. And while Space Station, I think, is kind of peaking at top 8, I think they're like an 8th ranked team, 5 to 8. I think that's as far as they go. But we all know K-Corp has the chance, with the talent they have, to really ascend. Also heard some interesting things behind the scenes about K-Corp, so who knows what we're going to get from both of those teams. But I think, again, anytime you look at these teams, when you're looking at the closest seeds, there's a chance for an upset, but I'm expecting these to be very one-sided. Maybe OG puts up a bit of a better fight, but I do like Furia in that matchup quite a bit. OG's just got to not play defense the whole time. We'll see what JNaps can do. We then go to our first rounds, and we get some very exciting results out of the gate. G2 K-Corp, I'm very excited for that matchup, but I think G2 showcases that they are that team that has figured it out. BDS over Furia, though. I do like what I saw out of BDS quite a bit at EWC. I think they're a very, very talented team. Drawley continues to prove that he's that next man up. So very excited to watch that matchup. Other than that, favorites winning. Nothing too crazy here. In the low seeds, Secret Gladiators should be free. This, to me, is a pivotal match, though, between Oxygen and OG if it does happen, because that is a catalyst and is going to be kind of a snowball effect for whoever gets to go into favorable matchups moving forward. That extra life is so big for making top 8, so we'll see how that one plays out. We then go to our next rounds, the middle of the pack. And as a reminder, this match, these matches, and these matches will be in front of the crowd. That way, all 16 teams can be guaranteed to be seen in front of the crowd. So this will be Friday's matchups here, just so people can see all the teams. They'll cover the elimination matches. Again, as a reminder, Swiss is first to 3 wins or 3 losses before you either move forward or lose. We'll talk about the new format after. 2-0s. Somehow we managed to dial it up. We've got some pretty crazy rematches across the board. I've been wanting to see G2 BDS play forever because it just hasn't happened yet. And I'm going to go with G2 until they give us a reason to prove that they're not going to be top 2. I can't go against them. Falcons, Mates. I do think Falcons, the speed, the aggression and stuff. Mates has shown a little bit of faltering lately, although we have noticed that that team on majors is just a different breed. G2 Falcons are my 1-2. That's the teams I've got. We then drop to the 1-1s. Furia, Oxygen. I think that could go both ways. I just don't know what we're going to get Oxygen. I'm going to choose to believe in Furia. Gen G over Secret. I could see Secret potentially playing upset. Vitality Space Station, that's a battle between Zen and LJ. I don't know who's going to perform better, but I historically am always going to pick Zen. Zen is that guy. And then K-Corp Power, I would like to assume K-Corp continues to do what they do over Power. Again, mechanically, they just have better individuals, and against a team like Power, that usually seems to be enough. As for the O2 rounds, I've been hearing some things about Pioneers. If you guys aren't familiar, Fiber was released and they played with their coach Mock in qualifier 6, and then they brought him back. To my knowledge, the guys are boycotting scrims. There's a lot of frustrations from that team. Pioneers, to me, is a free win for anybody who wants it. I don't think that team is happy. I don't know what kind of staff is going to the event from Pioneers, but I hope they're excited to drink a lot on Saturday and Sunday, and probably Friday night. So yeah, I think Gladiators can get it done. Gladiators isn't a bad team. They were going pretty close against some of the top dogs in other international matchups, so should be able to get a W there. Going into the high rounds, Mates Vitality. I think Mates is the better team. I would like to see them get a win there. Plus, it sets up some pretty fun stuff. So I need it to happen. BDS K Corp, I think BDS has proven that they are here to stay, that they've been more consistent. And then Gen G Fury, I think, could go either way. I would like to hope that Gen G can figure it out, because I do think they are slowly starting to find their form. You guys have heard me talk a lot about what they have become in regards to becoming that three-headed monster, where it's not just first killer being fed the ball. I want to see them be clean rotations, everybody involved, everybody having an impact. But we'll see. Furia's got speed and aggression. I like the way they're trapping the ball in defense again, but we'll see. We will see. The difficult thing about a lot of these predictions is teams don't play these all in quick succession like we normally see in Swiss, where all of Swiss is one day. But these are going to be like, hey, we played our match. Who's our opponent? We have time to prep and do replay analysis and then prepare for the next day. So I am excited to see that evolution at the Worlds, because it does change up some results. Space Station's being gifted Gladiators. I think they'll take that one. Oxygen Secret, I think, can go both ways. I would like to assume Oxygen is the better team, but Secret's pretty sneaky as a team too. I think Secret doesn't get enough credit. I talked about them in London as well. As for this one, we have to go with the inevitability of that Power will find themselves in the 2-2 round in round 5. That is just the reality of things. Realistically, if I'm a bet man, I'm probably going OG, but we could see Power playing upset again, and putting them in round 5 is just a guarantee. It's something I have to do, so we're going to continue to do it. We did manipulate a little bit of these results, primarily just so we can get this matchup. K Corp versus Oxygen. All the talk, all the conversation. Oxygen having to perform well at Major 2 and see what they could do in London to get themselves a world spot. They didn't do enough, so they didn't make it. Well, now the answer is here. We get to find out a direct head-to-head match between the two teams that were fighting for a world champion spot at the last second. All bets are off. We get to find out. There's no subject. There's no debate. We get the answer, and it's K Corp. K Corp's the better team. Outside of that, I think the only other one to really talk about, Furia and Space Station. I think Furia is a more complete team. I just don't think Space Station can get away with constantly having to rely on LJ. Someone's got to step up huge for Space Station. Whether it's Hawks or Chicago, one of them needs to have a big impact for that team. But I think Furia, speed, aggression, everything else, I think Furia is going to come out of the gate swinging. Space Station could exploit that, but for how long? I don't know. Now we go to the bracket. Things are a little bit different here. And the way that it works out is we have seeding matches for people out of Swiss. If you guys don't know how these come to be, if we look at the results for Swiss down at the bottom here, 3 teams are tied in that 3-1 round. Gentlemates and Gen G have the same game differential in mind, but because Gentlemates has the higher initial seed coming into the tournament, Gentlemates gets the advantage. That's why they're the 3rd seed. BDS, Gen G, game differential, pretty straightforward, right? So when we go to the bracket, what they end up doing then is trying to find out who plays who gets the easier matchup between the 1 and 2 seed, right? I have Mates beating Gen G, and then according to what Gibbs has said, is they have purposely made it so that they don't play back-to-back matches. As you guys know, part of the reason why I dislike double elimination is because when you have a winners finals dropping to a lower final and then into the grand final, you have teams having to play back-to-back losses in disadvantaged positions, and it usually doesn't work out. Gen G, mentality-wise, is still going to be in that concept, but the nice thing is that no matter what happens, they still get to go and compete afterwards. So the thing for Gen G is they are going to get a ton of reps if this ends up happening. My concern is the mental. Where are they going to be? Headspace. What are the confidence levels going to be? I don't know. I would like to say there's a little bit more resiliency, but I think this match has a lot on the line because you're talking either a upper quarterfinal match with advantages, or you're dropping down to lowers and then you're having to battle through. It's a tough spot. So back-to-back losses for Gen G, I think it's a tough blow to receive. I do think BDS is better than Gen G at the current moment, so that is what I'm going with. I could expect this being a completely different outcome, being completely honest, but we're just doing it for the narrative reasons, because if it goes the way that I have planned, we get the 2 rematches that I desperately want. A rematch from the majors, and then a rematch from EWC. Run it back. That's the whole reason I did it. I want them to just run it back, and I want to see it again. I cannot wait if this happens the way that it does. It's going to be absolutely dominant. On the low side of the bracket then, And I apologize for the cursed debates. Apparently, this prediction sheet that was made by Cody, every different winner has a different answer and a different result. Make sure you guys plug in and see what happens if Limitless wins. It's pretty goofy. K-Corp in the lower brackets sounds scary at first against a stumbling Gen G, but they do go up against the big bad BDS after a tough loss to the Falcons. Fury of Vitality, we also managed to do that somehow where they align again. This time we've got Furia in 7, keeping the hopes alive, only to run into Gentlemates who do take them down. My top 4 G2 BDS Falcons mates, I do have the winners being the top seeds. I know it's boring. I know it's unexciting. But like realistically, when you look at historical evidence, how things have been going and where everything is at, G2 hasn't given us a reason to doubt them. Falcons continues to show that case that they are consistent. They mean business. Everybody talks about how they're the toughest team to scrim. I don't see that changing. I know the guys are grinding. I know they're boot camping hard. I expect TRK and the guys to just have a phenomenal performance. Mates has given me a little bit of hesitation after what happened with Chiefs, but realistically, I think this could also be a much closer series. I've been trying to make more bold predictions. There's a lot more sweeps in my bracket compared to otherwise, which is actually ironically given us exact storylines we want. I want to see rematches in this and in this. I don't want people to question or wonder if you have people playing against each other at the World Championship with everything on the line. It would just be, oh, I'd be elated. It'd be so amazing. As for the G2 Falcons series, we actually ended up doing coin flips for it, and it went back and forth every single series. G2 1-1, then Falcons 1-1. Falcons 1-1, then G2 1-1. And it went back and forth every single time. It was 1-1, 2-2, 3-3, and then Game 7, it gave the heads to G2. So G2 is where we are at. That's what we had. So crazy, crazy stuff across the board. G2, your world champions. It's coming back home for the home crowd in Texas. We'll see if that actually ends up happening. But that's going to do it for our prediction video. Let me know what you guys got down below. I know these are going to be completely wrong, but I'm excited to see what ends up happening either way. That's going to do it. As always, like, subscribe, notifications. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.